why I generally find high school to be very annoying, dude. Like, don't lie and say, oh, I like high school, I like school. I can't understand elementary, that wasn't that bad. But once you got to middle school, dude, no, just no. Because my main problem with it is the fact that you have to go from class to class to class. This is really apparent in most high schools since they'll have like 3 floors. And like what, at least in my high school they do, is they will put your classes all across the giant ass school. And it'll be like impossible to get from one place to another without either running in the halls or being taught. And then you think, oh, okay, my classes are close, I can get downside. No, you'll be stuck behind the biggest kids. Like I'm talking about, like they're just planet size, or kids who are, you know, staying in the hallway. You know, hey, Dad, see what I can do over the weekend. You know, they can obviously just text each other. Like, come on, dude. And when you ask them to move, they just look at you like you've committed 15 war crimes. It's not even that. It's the fact that, like, most subjects, you don't need. I can understand, let's say you're trying to become a teacher. Then I understand which subjects. Or you're trying to become a chemist, or, like, jobs that revolve around those subjects. I understand why you gotta learn them. But me, like, let's say, you know, my plan is to be a YouTuber when I grow up, all that, you know, once I get out of high school, YouTuber, all that. Why do I need to know how to write an entire paragraph and then take that entire paragraph and span it out into a 200-page essay that could fill 3 books and 5 TV specials? Like, when am I going to use that? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know the circumference of the A is actually supposed to be lowercase because you see in the next paragraph, oh, well, B says A 2 times in a row. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know that. It's not even that math. Like, I'll be honest, some math is like completely useless for the most part. Geometry, have never used that once. Like, I'll get it. Like, I understand basic math, you gotta learn that, and algebra, and I'm doing decent in that. I know that stuff, but I'm talking about stuff like geometry. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know Sales House was supposed to be 70 feet wide, 70 feet long, with a circumference of 5. Because when I do those tests, you know, for geometry, Sales House ends up being -5 inches. Like, history is, I'll be honest, probably the only valid subject, or geography, because you generally do need to learn that stuff without failing. Like, those are actually important things. I'll admit, some science is important, like chemistry, like you gotta learn the basic elements, or biology, you gotta learn how the human, I think that's anatomy, actually, where you have to learn the basic human anatomy. Like, I can give most of the science a pass on that. You know, there's electives like gym, I understand that, some kids generally need it, especially those big kids who block up half the hallway. I'm not joking, they exist. But yeah. And another thing I genuinely hate about some schools, specifically the teachers, is the fact that they will be the most sexist, like biased, like scum of the earth people. Not all the teachers, the only teachers I have aren't like that at all. They're generally so nice. Well, like, I feel bad for people who have, you know, the sexist teachers. Because I'll admit, last year I did have, in my first Algebra 1 class, I did have a sexist teacher that would yell at any of the boys if they even made a peep. But the girls in the class could legit do anything. I remember one time during the class, they would talk to the entire class, not like whispering, like going, hey bestie, as loud as they fucking could. And the teacher didn't say one thing. And then, you know, my boy, I'm gonna call him M, said hi to someone else and instantly got detention. I'm not making it up, I'm not exaggerating, it actually happened. But yeah, that's all we gotta say, so... Oh yeah, hold on, actually, before I go, the bathrooms are terrible. Like, half the boys' bathrooms don't even have doors on them. Anyways, that's all. See y'all next time. Do what you want.